Next season could have Urban Meyer taking over the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence as his first overall draft pick quarterback. T-Law went 34-2, fifth best in FBS history among quarterbacks with at least 30 starts. And we say good morning to Trevor Matich here on SportsCenter AM. And Trevor, if Urban Meyer does draft Trevor Lawrence with that #1 overall pick, how successful do you think they'll be together?
Randy, I think it'll be phenomenal. Part of the reason is that Trevor Lawrence is so completely versatile. You can put him in a pure drop back system, something like a Tom Brady, who's not very mobile, could use, and Lawrence would be successful at it. But a lot of college principles of zone reads and read options and mobile quarterback schemes have found their way from college into the NFL. And look at how successful Meyer was in maximizing the talents of some of those college quarterbacks. Alex Smith at Utah, he coached him to the first pick in the draft. He was a mobile guy who could throw, but not a big arm. Then he goes to Florida and coaches Tim Tebow to a national championship, a different skill set than Smith. Then he coaches Cardale Jones to a national championship victory as well, a completely different skill set than the other guys. And so Trevor Lawrence can do any of those things. And I think Meyer has shown a history of being able to maximize all of those things.
From a Coach Meyer perspective, he's a guy who's used to obviously winning at the college level, but there's the very real possibility that in one season in Jacksonville, he could lose more games in that one season than he did in his entire run at Ohio State. So how do you think Meyer would handle his first taste of adversity with the Jaguars?
The same way he handled it in college, Randy. He will hate losing just as bad as he ever has. And if he loses a whole bunch of games in Jacksonville early, he will hate losing every one of those games with every fiber of his being. But that's one of the reasons that he will be successful. He doesn't accept anything but the best. And one of the reasons I think he'll be a successful coach going from college to the NFL is his leadership ability, even through the adversity. At Ohio State, at Utah, at Florida, he was able to maximize the leadership, not just development of players in the locker room, but he had actually curriculum that he would teach his assistant coaches as many as twice a month, actual classes, actual seminars on leadership skills that they would then take to their meeting rooms and teach their players. So the natural leaders in the locker room wouldn't just be natural, they would be skilled at leadership. Leadership is something that transcends college to the NFL. And I think he'll hate to lose, but he will maximize everybody. And it's all going to come down to one word for him in terms of success in the league, and that is leadership.
Okay, leadership might translate, but there's a difference between trying to inspire a man, a grown man, perhaps with a family, who's cashing a paycheck, as opposed to a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old recruit here. How do you feel like Meyer will handle that adjustment in terms of going from guys he recruited, essentially, and students, right, undergraduates at Ohio State or Florida or wherever, to now paid professionals?
Randy, I think Coach Meyer will be a student himself. He'll talk to Nick Saban, who went to the NFL for a hot minute, didn't work out. He'll talk to people like Steve Spurrier, who went to the NFL for a hot minute, didn't work out. And I think he'll find in talking to guys like that is that they didn't have the control that they expected when they got into the league. And I think Meyer really kind of required that Jacksonville sell him rather than he sell Jacksonville in the interview process. And part of that would be that he would have the control that he wants. So he'll be the one to decide who the general manager is there. And I think that's a big part of it, because he just won't face plant into the league. Right. He'll talk to coaches that were successful in the transition from college to NFL and that weren't, and he'll learn what he needs to adjust in order to relate to those players in the league. Because you're right, you can't just tell a 19-year-old unguided missile fresh out of high school what he's going to do, and you're going to do it because I said so, I'm the coach.
Right.
That doesn't fly in the NFL. But he's got the skills to be able to make it work as long as he knows what adjustments need to be made.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.